Okay, so now it's recording. Um, I've decided to record. Sometimes I'm a better at talking rather than at writing things, and I'm kind of new to this because I'm making this for my mother. It's a fundraiser that I heard about, and it was GoFundMe. And I've been hearing a lot of people say, definitely go to that. It does help. And that is exactly what my mom needs. She needs help. She needs anything, at this point. She's in her 50s and she basically lives in her bedroom. She lives in her bedroom. She can't move. She can't do anything. She's gotten hurt several times. She got hurt originally when she was at work and she slipped and fell. And then her and my sister got into a car accident, and it was actually a girl who hit them and she ran. So it was a hit and run. Luckily, my sister was able to get the license plate, and then the cops found her actually trying to get her car fixed that day. So that's still up in the air, but they did get hit. So my mom has more damage done to her. Um, Let me just give like a little bit of a background on my mother. She is a fighter. She's always been a fighter. She's always done everything and anything for us as children, as an adult. I know she's fought for my life when wanted my life to just be over. Um, we never really had much of a father figure. He was here and there, but he was nothing. He was selfish. He was more of just a sperm donor, I guess you could say. But regardless, as children, you still try to fight for the love of your parents, and just never could get it from him. So there was a lot of times when we were younger, me and my sister, we would always run away from home, if my dad had to watch us. And then I remember when I was 10 years old and we were next door because my mom didn't even trust him watching us. And the cops came to the house to take him out of the house. He was mentally, physically abusive. He is not a good person. But as I got older, it was every person I started to find that I wanted to be with was exactly like him. And my mom was, you know, just trying to fight for my life, like basically try to lead me in the right way. And as a kid, you think you know more than what your parent, knows. And, oh, she doesn't understand. It's love, yada, yada. But I am now 27 and I realize that my mom has done nothing but fight for my life to keep me here. Um, they separated when I was 10, and my mom was constantly working, constantly. She was very independent. That's how I get my independence from her. And she doesn't want a helping hand, but she needs it, and she needs it now. And it has only gotten worse. I originally told her if she needed money, I would find a way. And finding a way and to get easy money was by dancing. And I basically would dance, hate my life, hate myself, and I knew I had to do it because I had to give it to my mom and she needed help. Um, and then that's when drinking got involved. So, it's just bad. It just turned out really, really, really bad for me. But my mom always saw the light at that end of the tunnel. She always believed in me that there was more to me than what I thought was to me. Um, there was a time in my life I also tried to commit suicide. I was hospitalized, but my mom came every day. She came every day. She pulled me through. No matter if I hated her, I couldn't stand her. She just she was a mom. She was a mom and she was fighting for my life. And that's what I'm doing for her right now. She's very stubborn and she will not ask for help, but I am. And I'm going to ask for help. I called her today just to find out how many things are actually severely wrong with her because every time I go to her house, she everything is like blacked out. Like she is in her room, laying down, everything's blacked out, the curtains, everything, and it's sad. It's sad to live in a dungeon like that, and she began to hoard. So now you live in a dungeon. When you get out of that dungeon, now there's little pathways for you to go to so that you can walk. But she never really had anything. And I feel like that's kind of where everything came in at. Um, but mainly, this fundraiser is because she has done everything in her power to keep me here and keep me alive and do her best as a mother. And if I ever had any children, I can only wish to be half as good as she is. My sister does have 2 kids, and my mom wishes that she could, go outside and be on the scooter with them and do the things that she used to do with us. And she can't do anything for a period of time. Even one time, like, we were outside and I just looked at my mom. I'm like, oh my God, like, your legs are really shaved. Like, they're like just hairy. I was like, can I shave them for you? And she was like, yeah, but she literally, I had to have her stand up. She was close, she was fine. Um, but she had to stand up and she was shaking. Her legs were shaking while I'm trying to shave my mom's legs. And every doctor she goes to, it's, oh no, it's nothing, or it's this, or let's put you on painkiller, let's put you on this, let's do this. She does not want to live her life on painkillers. She wants to be alive and well and good. And that is no way to live, to have to depend on something like that. And even with that, her insomnia, she can't even sleep because once she moves, it hurts. So I'm going to read the list of things that she has wrong with her. And I didn't even know, honestly, until today that I actually asked her what extent it came to. Now, I always knew she had high blood pressure. She always worries. She's always a very big worry ward. But they did find another cyst in her ovary. And she said it was a 2.5. I'm not very sure on it, but it sounds pretty dangerous to me, even having a cyst in your ovary. She did hit her head while she was in the accident. She has herniated discs. Sorry, I sound kind of stupid. She has RSD now. Originally, when she did get hurt, they kept waiting it out. They kept sending her to all different doctors, and it only makes it worse because it's not making anything better. Giving her painkillers is not helping her. It's not helping. So that's why a lot of times she can't walk. And when she was shaking in the shower, when I tried to help shave her, it gets so swollen. Like, you would think that she was obese because of how swollen she is. And she's a fairly tiny woman. She's about like 5'1", probably less than 120 pounds. And that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. And to live through that every single day is not fair. Her spine is not good. I was actually with her when they said that they found spots on her lungs. She does smoke, so she did know that eventually was going to come. Obviously, she just went for a mammogram, and they have to go back in so that they can take some out, because there was also more that was shown on there. She literally gets these really severe spasms in her legs and her arms. It's like in her whole body, and it doesn't stop. And it does keep her awake. There's, like I said, she cannot sleep no matter what they give her. It could be like the strongest dose of anything, and she can't do it. She can't do it. I feel like I am at my end now because I can only work so much, and it is so hard to make any money anymore, and I am in desperate need to help my mom. And I know she's not going to ask for it, so I'm going to ask for it. And I may not know any of you if you do donate, but she lost everything. She lost her car. She got a brand new car, and she was so excited about it too. And she lost her car she couldn't even be in the house for like 2 years. She couldn't even afford anything in the house. When I was staying in the house, there was no heat. There was no heat at all. I had like one little space heater, and that barely did anything to my room. I had to make sure that I first went into the bathroom to start the shower so it would at least get somewhat hot in there so I wasn't freezing. I never turned the air on because it's just there's so many things we couldn't afford. We couldn't afford, and my mom's not used to that because she did work very hard for her money. She got her GED when we were kids, which is much more than I can say that my father did. My father did nothing but be selfish and stubborn, mentally and physically abusive. He is just not a good person. And I know there are people out there that aren't good, but I'm like kind of getting off the topic and everything. But I I'm trying to do the best that I can, and this is the route that I have been led to, is to try and fundraise, hopefully, for my mother for her medical bills, and hopefully find her a doctor that does help her and will do something for her so she can get out of bed and she can enjoy just even sitting outside. It doesn't even matter as long as she's outside, but imagine 24/7. Sorry, my phone rang. 24/7, locked in your room basically because you just don't want to deal with the world. Like, that's hell. Like, you're living in hell. That's sad. It's very sad. And, that light that she always had at the end of the tunnel that she told me that I would make it, I would do it, I could do it, it's fading. She's fading. And I'm very desperate for help. And anything at this point could help. I'm doing the best that I can. I have changed a lot in my whole like future. Everything is completely different. Um, you know, wish I coulda, woulda, just the times that she told me I should have. But we're brought here now, and this is what I'm doing. And I really hope that people will understand and hear me. I'm sorry if I'm like all over the place. I'm just kind of really nervous about getting the help for her. But if you can, I would appreciate it. She fought for my life, and I didn't even think I'd make it past 21, and I'm fighting for hers. You only get one mom, so this is it. So please, please help.